Well, back once again. Anthony Hairywaters here, as you all know. I'm sorry, I'm very late with the podcast today. My equipment has just been acting funny. It's been acting real weird lately, and I don't know. I think it's time for me to get new equipment. I think it's about that time to get new equipment. But on to new things. I hope everybody is safe out there. Hope everybody is well. Hope everybody's feeling healthy. No symptoms of COVID-19. I hope there's no symptoms. I hope everybody's doing good. And I hope everybody's staying home, washing your hands, and doing everything that you need to do to make sure that you are safe. Hope everybody's kids are doing well, etc., etc. Now, I have a quick update on ASW Philly. As you all know, we are quarantined right now, and we were unable to fulfill our promise with performing on April 12th, was it? I believe that was a Sunday. April 12th was a Sunday. So, we were unable to fulfill our promise to perform that day. And we unfortunately had to push our date back. Now, I'm hearing, and I could be wrong here, I could be right, but I'm hearing that ASW Philly may be back in mid-May, maybe early June. Well, I'm not sure. These are the things that I'm hearing. This is what do they call it? The word on the street. There it is. The word on the street. This is what I'm hearing. That's the word on the street for right now, as far as temptations go, as far as when the season is going to start. What else do we got here? Let's see. I believe that's all for the news and updating everybody on ASW Philly and when the date could possibly be. Like I said, nothing's confirmed yet. Anything could change at a split second because of said 19. Because of said 19. COVID-19. Like I said, anything could change at any moment because of the virus. So, nothing's set in stone. Nothing's set in stone until we know for sure, until we're able to go to the mall, until we're able to go to the beach and all of the beautiful things that we should do in our normal lives before COVID-19. Until we're able to do that, then, we won't have a date and we won't really be able to release any new information that will be set in stone until then. So, let's get on with the show. I believe that's all I have to say for ASW Philly. I believe that's all I have to say as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Oh, COVID-19. Right. Speaking of, as far as I know of, I've been keeping up with the news. The date for outside to be unlocked, if you will, is still April 30th. And as far as I know of, if malls and beaches are going to be open, I believe that will be either between May 3rd or May 15th, from what I'm hearing. So, yeah, that's the dates that we're looking at. That's everything that's going on within COVID-19. So I'm sure you'll hear that. We'll get a release date for Temptations. I'm sure you'll hear that very, very soon. As I said, it's still April 30th, so that's still in order. But I feel like I'm rambling on. Let me go and get my guest on here. Let me go give him a call. Ladies and gentlemen, you all know him. You all love him. The former World Heavyweight Champion, Exodus Jones. How you doing tonight, Mr. Jones?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm I'm doing well. Allergies get to me a bit, but I'm able to pull through. How's life? How was your life in quarantine and dealing with COVID?
You know, for the most part, I've just been, focused on my thing. I've been able to, talk to fans a little bit, uh, keep track of what's going on in life, through our fans and see how they're holding up throughout this whole situation. And, just surviving, man. That's all you can do.
I hear you there, brother. I hear you there. So down to the nitty gritty.
Or, the same guys that you see as world heavyweight champion can't carry the company for too long. It's time for the new generation to step up, to step aside. Because if we, the originals that have been there for 10 plus years, if we keep, reaching the brass ring for these young cats, then nothing's going to get accomplished.
Okay, I understand that. And a follow up question to you missing the World Heavyweight Championship and in my opinion was a beautiful run before it was ended by none other than the 10-time World Heavyweight Champion and current international champion, Supernatural. Now goes by the name of Alpha King. I was wondering your thoughts on that and how the Alpha Order is running rampant, if you will, over ASW Philly.
I've known King Alpha now. I've known him for a long time, from the very early stages of ASW Philly all the way to now. And what can I say? I don't know exactly how much of an ego he has. I don't know exactly what made him become the man that he is now. All I can say is that King Alpha or Supernatural or whatever you want to call him now, he has a big target on his back, and he needs to understand that that ego is going to get checked real soon.
To be completely honest with you, I feel the same. I feel as though that Supernatural or King Alpha, excuse me, is in a position where he could get ego checked within a second. I feel like it's I feel like it's someone's duty to step up in this war, it seems, between ASW Philly management and the Alpha Order. I feel like it's somebody needs to step up and take charge. And in your opinion, who do you think is strong enough? Who do you think is built enough? Has all the tools and is equipped enough to be the leader in this war, if you will?
I don't know, man. All I can say is, for me, it is what it is, and I truly mean that in the best way possible, because I'm more focused on getting my Grand Slam. That's all I've been focusing on, and that's been a goal of mine since the very beginning of season 10. I've done everything in the company but get my Grand Slam. That OMG championship is what I want, is what I need to solidify my legacy, point blank, period.
And speaking of Grand Slam, I don't know if you heard the news, but former OMG fighting champion, Warrior is no longer how do I put this? It is no longer employed by ASW Philly. So now the OMG fighting championship is vacant, and I feel like this is your opportunity to step in and get that Grand Slam. So, in my opinion, who do you think, as a former world heavyweight champion, who do you think is going to be one of the biggest challenges walk into getting this Grand Slam? Exodus Jones, are you there? Mr. Jones, are you there? I think we lost him, ladies and gentlemen. I think we lost him, but we don't you worry. We're gonna get back into him because that was a good question. That was a damn good question. So we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back to him. See if we can get back to him. Second, give me 2 seconds. See if we can get in there because he just.
Hello?
Mr. Jones, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alrighty, I don't know what happened. Did you hear the question?
Yeah, repeat that one more time. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. So I said, the OMG Fighting Championship is vacant now. ASW Philly decided that they wanted to get rid of Warrior due to his performance as a champion and as a superstar as a whole. They felt as though it wasn't the right time. That it wasn't a good position for him to be employed by us. Now, with that being said, the OMG Fighting Championship is vacant. Leave that in the back of your mind real quick. There are a lot of people that know this. And I wasn't aware if you knew it, but here's the information. There's a lot of people that know this. Who do you think is going to be your hardest challenge walking into you getting that Grand Slam?
I would have to say that biggest challenge is going to have to be me. And I say that for this particular reason. This has been the most important achievement in my career. When you think about the career of Exodus Jones and how far he's come and the people that he's faced, let's go back to when he beat all four of the Horsemen. Do you really think, as a fan, think of it as a fan, did you really think that Exodus Jones would be the very first person to beat all four of the Horsemen?
No.
Do you think that Exodus Jones would want to be one of the fastest rising superstars in ASW Philly?
No.
Now, see, me as the performer, I have to think not only through my eyes, but I got to look at it in the fans' eyes. Because they matter of this journey. They are what drives me more and more every time I step out there and I hear that crowd and I hear my theme music. They pump me up to do the things that I do in that ring.
Mm-hmm.
And the OMG Fighting Championship is a whole nother breed. Yeah, you can be in ASW Philly to be international champion. You could be ASW Philly champion. You could be world heavyweight champion. But when it comes to the OMG Fighting Championship, you have to dig so deep and think, how can I survive in order to get this Grand Slam? Because this is not an ordinary championship. This is the OMG Fighting Championship, which means anything could happen.
Mm-hmm.
I could bleed to death getting this championship. I can break my neck getting this championship. Hell, if my eyelashes were deadly, I can lose an eyelash and be blinded for life getting this championship. So I would have to get into that killer instinct to get this Grand Slam. And that's exactly what's going to be the biggest challenge as far as getting that Grand Slam.
That was you worded that in a very I that was mind blowing the way you worded that. I have here's another question for you. I should have asked this first, but I feel like the fans need to get an idea of what this last championship means to you. Why is this Grand Slam so important to Exodus Jones?
You know, it goes back to when I first debuted in ASW Philly. Not only did I want to be ASW Philly World Heavyweight Champion, but I wanted to be the best in the business. You can put aside all my rivals, all my allies. You can put all of that to the side. I just wanted to be the absolute best in ASW Philly. And that OMG Fighting Championship solidifies a legacy of Exodus Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I need this legacy to come to fruition when I finally get the one championship that has eluded me in my career. The one championship that nobody could ever picture Exodus Jones getting. Yeah, you could say he was one of the best international champions. You could say he was one of the best ASW Philly champions, even though that was one reign. And you can say I was one of the greatest world heavyweight champions 4 times running. But this OMG Fighting Championship is going to be the one championship that proves that I am not only the best in the business, but that's going to prove that I have what it takes to defend the championship, to be the champion, and to own the OMG Fighting division.
Wow. Okay. So, do you feel like with this OMG Fighting Championship, and I know right now it's a lot of eyes on that championship. People, a lot of people held that championship, and they're wondering what Exodus Jones wants with this championship. And I understand the Grand Slam. That is an amazing reason why Exodus Jones should have and will have this championship. But think about it. Putting Exodus Jones in such a dangerous predicament. It's such a dangerous situation with the OMG Fighting Championship. What purpose do you feel that serves? Because from the World Championship to the ASW Philly Championship to the International Championship, it's all different. But the reason that OMG Fighting Championship is the OMG Fighting Championship is because of how dangerous that division is. So how do you feel you'll survive? Do you feel like you really own that division, or you feel like you're just surviving in that division?
I think in order to answer that question fully, we would have to stay tuned for season 11. Because I've survived my whole entire career. I've survived Supernatural. I survived King Alpha. I survived the Shadow Boxer and the Dark Lord. I survived Greatness and I survived King Chaos. So when it comes to that OMG Fighting Championship, it's not just about survival. It's about sacrificing every limb, ligament, blood, sweat, and tears for that championship.
But to what circumstances? Like, how much are you willing to sacrifice? Because this Grand Slam, I get it's that important, but is it that important to you that you have to sacrifice your career for this championship? Because that's how dangerous it can get, Mr. Jones.
I've said this when I faced King Alpha at All-Star Mania 2016. I don't win that Grand Slam, I have no career. I have no legacy. As far as what you're asking me, what am I willing to sacrifice? You pretty much answered your question. I'm willing to sacrifice my career, my life, everything for this Grand Slam. I don't care if you love me. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you're a family member. Hell, I don't even care if you're my brother. That OMG Fighting Championship is going to be mine, and it will be mine until some dumbass decides to take Jackknife Junction for a joke and find out exactly why I'm going to be the greatest and the best OMG Fighting Champion, period.
That is a very bold statement from a very impactful superstar. I do have one last question. I have a few more questions, but I feel like I gotta narrow it down and bring you back on the show some other time. But I do have this question for you. Looking at the World Heavyweight Championship scene and looking at the scenery, I feel like looking at it from a superstar's point of view is a very intimidating. What's the word I'm looking for? For a lack of better term, show. It's very intimidating show with Alpha King being international champion and ASW Philly champion. See, Ghost being the world heavyweight champion. Has been the world heavyweight champion for a little while now. And then no OMG fighting champion. You feel like that with this? Do you feel like ASW Philly is being cut in half? With you chasing that OMG championship and then 3 other championships on lock by the Alpha Order, do you feel like that the company is split in half?
I don't think the company is split in half. I just think the company is just what it's always been, a company. With the Alpha Order just running roughshod on God knows who doing God knows what, to say that it's split in half, no, not even in the slightest. I will say this, though. The Alpha Order reminds me of a two-man group that wanted to run roughshod on the ASW Philly for a very long time. And Hairywaters, you know this to be true. Lethal Injection did the same exact thing. So what makes the Alpha Order different? Not much. You just have the king, the queen, the prince, or whatever he want to call himself, doing whatever it takes to maintain their spot in the company. Do I agree with it? No. Do I respect it? Maybe. But I will say one day, the Alpha Order and Exodus Jones are going to come face to face. Who knows what will happen? And I'm looking forward to it. No questions.
Wow. Well, thank you for being on the show, Mr. Exodus Jones. I cannot wait till season 11. It's going to be a very interesting ride watching you capture that OMG Fighting Championship. Oh boy, I can't wait.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. I got to make sure I have you on the show once again because I have plenty of questions to ask. Like I said, had to narrow it down, but I'm definitely going to have you on the show in possibly the next 3 weeks or so.
Looking Looking forward to it.
All right, Exodus Jones. Have a nice night. Stay safe. Stay home. I'll see you soon.
All righty.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the ASW Philly podcast, or my podcast, ASW Philly, would like to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. I hope everybody is staying home. I hope everybody is safe. From the bottom of my heart, Hairywaters would love to thank you. Like I said, if you got any questions for Hairywaters, you can inbox Hairywaters. You can post Hairywaters. You can tag Hairywaters. Whatever you guys to do. If you got questions for some Hairywaters about the next guest, or you wanna suggest a guest, or whatever the case may be, if you just even want to talk to Hairywaters, reach out to me. But do it while you're at home. I say do it while you're at home. Thank you for listening to the Hairywaters podcast with my guest, Exodus Jones. Make sure you stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and make sure you keep up to date with Hairywaters, because I got a lot more news coming for you. Love y'all. See you soon.